fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's Whip and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you're working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I am going to be working on my Heaven and Earth design. I'm still working on this one, so let me zoom into where I'm going to be working and I'll be right back. Okay, so as I get started, let's just jump into my regular life. What's been going on in my regular life? Well, since the last time I talked to you, I told you guys we were going to be making a trip to drop my sister-in-law off for her flight, which we did. And we weren't sure we were going to spend the night because we were supposed to get a bunch of snow. We did decide to go ahead and spend the night. And we had a good time, saw some family while we were there, went out to eat, and went to this pancake place, sort of like an IHOP, but the Canadian version. And I had Cinnabon pancakes. And they are basically kind of poured in a ring like a cinnamon roll. They were so good. Huge. I could only eat half of them, but they were so good. So we had a good time. We did get up early the next morning. It snowed in the city, and we were supposed to be getting even more snow at home. So we had decided since we were going to take our chances and spend the night, we would get up early in the morning and leave. That way, if there was lots and lots of snow, hopefully we would get home before it got too bad. So we got on the road around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and got home before noon. There's a couple of places it was a little slushy and dicey, but hubby was driving and he's used to it, so I fell asleep on the way home. And it was snowing when we got home, but not nearly as bad as we had thought. So it was all good. We had a good time, got my sister-in-law dropped off. She made it out on her flight before the weather got bad, so I guess everybody's good luck all around. And then we got home Friday, I think that was, and it basically snowed all Friday night, and we got quite a bit of snow. But Saturday it was warm. They're calling for more snow, so we'll see what happens. We're supposed to go to my mother-in-law's for Easter, but depending on how much snow, because some of it's supposed to be ice, so we may have to postpone it by a day or so. We'll see. And since my sister-in-law is out of town, I have been elected the dessert person. So I'm going to bring banana cream pie because I wanted banana pudding, but then I found a easy recipe for banana cream pie. So I thought, well, I'll just make that. And then I was talking to my son, and he's like, "You're not going to make death by chocolate?" And I was like, "I can make both of them if you want." So I'm going to be taking both of those because he definitely wanted the death by chocolate. Everybody liked it the last time I made it. The only thing my mother-in-law cares about is that it doesn't have any nuts in it. So neither one of these will have nuts in it. But we had to go to the grocery store Saturday and everybody was out. I don't know if it's ever because everybody was buying for Easter. I don't know if it's because everybody was stocking up before another possible storm, but it was super crowded. And it was an exciting weekend for the dogs, I guess, because our youngest got to dog sit for everybody while we were gone. He ended up sleeping out on the couch with the dogs because he didn't want them in his bedroom because he doesn't want all the dog care in his room. And he said Sable was fine, but Oscar just wanted a lot of attention and he whined a lot. So he was not thrilled with Oscar, but that's okay. We also had a bit of a oh no moment because Saturday, after hubby and I went to go get groceries, we have a gate onto the deck. You come up the stairs and there's a gate, and it didn't get shut all the way. So he had let Oscar and Sable out, and he went to go let them back in, and they weren't on the deck. And he's like, "Where did they go?" And all of a sudden, he realizes the gate on the deck is open, and he goes down the stairs. And about that time, he hears a car horn honk, and here come Oscar and Sable running hellbent for leather from the front of the house. So I don't know if they actually got into the road or if they just got close to the road and somebody honked at them, but luckily they both came running back. I think the car honking scared Sable because she came running right into the house, ran to the couch, and didn't want to move after that. Oscar wanted to go back outside, and I made him wait for a little while because I knew he just wanted to go see if the gate was open again. Finally went back and let him out, and sure enough, he's standing by the gate, nosing it, trying to see if he can push it open. So I hollered at him and told him to go down in the dog run, and he looked at me for a few minutes and then he kind of huffed and went down into the dog run. He's been having fun playing in the dog run because the neighbor's volleyball has ended up in our yard. It's been so cold, it's basically frozen solid, but he gets it out there and he pushes it around with his nose and his feet and everything and just has a good old time with it. So I figure while he's having a good time, we'll let him have a good time. Eventually, I'm sure the neighbors are going to want it back, but nobody's come and asked for it yet. Honestly, they could just climb into the yard and get it because the snow is so tall in the dog run, it's almost to the top of the fence now. We did get a nice surprise. Hubby went out to go snow blow the first round of snow just in case we got a second round, because then it would be too much for our little snow blower. And he was actually out cleaning off the deck for the second time. I cleaned it off Friday night before we went to bed, and then he had to clean it off again on Saturday. But he was out there on Saturday cleaning off the deck and using his rake to pull some of the heavy snow off the roof. And all of a sudden, I look out and there's somebody plowing our driveway. And we don't have a contract with anybody to come plow our driveway. We just do it ourselves. So I was like, who is that? So I went out and told Hubby somebody was doing the driveway, somebody he used to know when he lived here before. And apparently the guy just lives up the road, and he came with his little tractor machine and did our driveway in about 5 minutes. So Hubby didn't have to be out there snow blowing everything. I mean, we do have a snow blower, but it's not a huge one, so it does take a while still. This is another color I'm wondering if I'm going to have enough of. I may have to go find a substitute for this one too, but I thought I had enough of this color. Of course, maybe I measured wrong when I was doing it. Anyway, so yeah, it's been an interesting week just for snow shoveling and everything. And we've had more snow than we anticipated, so we are almost out of wood for the wood stove. Hubby went and bought like half a cord from somebody a couple weeks ago, and that's almost gone now. So when we go up, if we go up to his mom's, he's going to see if she will let us have some of her wood because since she had to buy a new wood stove because their old one was cracked, the new one has been much more efficient and they haven't been using nearly as much wood as they would have before with the old one. So hopefully she won't mind if we take some. Hubby just doesn't want to have to go and buy a whole bunch more until after spring because we want to store most of it in the basement. So we'll have to see how we're going to do all that. I really am wondering if I'm going to have enough for this. I don't even know if I'm going to have enough for this section. Okay, I know I'm not. Wonder if I have any of these in my case. Let me go look for those just real quick. Well, I do not have any extras, so I guess I'll see how far I can get with what I have left here. And then I will have to go upstairs and see, because I put my spare squares away upstairs. Have to go upstairs and see if I have any in a bag up there. Guys, crazy luck for me this week. We went to the grocery store to buy some groceries because I had a few things I needed to pick up so that I could make the desserts for dinner at the in-laws. Hubby and I were on our way walking out, and as I'm walking out, I looked down. There was a $50 bill laying on the ground. I kind of did a double take because Canadian money still looks like Monopoly money to me. It doesn't look like real currency. Mainly, I think just because it's so colorful. Okay, I've got one of these left, and I'm going to save that. I'm going to save it just so I can try and match colors, and I'm going to call that simple good for now. Anyway, I looked around and it didn't look like anybody had dropped it, like there was nobody waiting You know, like they had just walked out the door and dropped it or anything. Nobody was looking around like they knew they'd dropped something and they were trying to find it. And I could have taken it into the store, but honestly, how would they know whose money it really was? They would just keep it. So hubby and I decided that, well, I decided that next time I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna pay it forward for somebody's groceries or something. But it was a nice surprise. We used it to buy dinner. And then earlier this week, my daughter texted me. I'm getting deja vu, like I've already told you guys about this. But maybe I'm just remembering that I wrote it down. I don't know. If you've heard the story about the dress, feel free to fast forward if you haven't. That's what happens when you get old. You can't remember what you've said and what you haven't. Oldest texted me. It was like 11 o'clock here, which would be 9 o'clock there. And she's like, Mom, are you awake? I'm thinking, it's 11 o'clock here. Why wouldn't I be awake? And I immediately jumped to, she's had a car wreck. Something went wrong with her job. She's sick again. The car wouldn't start. And so I said, Yes, I'm up. Is everything okay? And she's like, I just have a question. And I said, Okay. So she sent me a picture of this dress. Wow, I'm having deja vu. Maybe I told you guys this while I was kidding up slow jazz. Gosh, I don't remember now. Anyway, she has a friend who's doing a Harry Potter themed wedding, and she wanted to know if I could help her pay for the dress and if the dress she picked out I thought was appropriate. The answer to both was yes. Gosh, I'm sure I told you guys this, but I don't know in what video I would have said it to you. I don't know. Anyway, I bought her a dress so she could go to her friend's Harry Potter themed wedding. Except it's not really Harry Potter themed except for the cake, maybe? Guys, see, I keep notes so that I know what I've told you, so that I don't repeat myself unnecessarily. And yet somehow I still end up doing it, or feeling like I am anyway. I don't think I have anything else real life related that I wanted to tell you. I thought maybe we would get in some shopping while we were in the city, but my knee was really bothering me. And honestly, the only store they had to shop at really was Michael's. I thought maybe there would be some other craft stores, but no, not big ones anyway. So we elected just to go to bed a little bit early because we were going to be getting up to try and beat the storm home. So I didn't end up going to Michael's and shopping for anything. And honestly, for Michael's, if I'm going to shop for stuff, it's just as easy to shop Michael's online than it is to go to the store because there's usually more selection online than there is in the store. I did mean to go to a big Walmart and check and see about the Walmart carrying diamond paintings, but I forgot about that too. So just had a nice trip, hubby and I. Like I said, we drove up, dropped my sister-in-law off at the airport, went and saw family, did a little bit of shopping. We were looking for some specific things that we can't get here. I think we're going to have to make a trip to the States for them, but we were hoping maybe a bigger Walmart would carry them, but no such luck. So that's okay. I think I'm going to try and talk hubby into, once spring is here and we don't have to worry about bad weather, taking another trip across the border. We'll spend the night and then we'll go buy some stuff, stock up again. I did find a recipe for Chick-fil-A sauce, so we're going to try and make that and see if it's good enough or if we need to stock up on the real thing. But I want to get some of my zero sugar sweet tea. I want to get some of the blackberry zero sugar Dr. Pepper because they do not have that here. My son wants some more of he uses the Tony's seasoning. I think we bought a couple last time we were there and we're out now. So he wants some more of that and I want some more Dorothy Lynch before we have Thanksgiving dinner again. Because we used to eat a lot of frozen turkey, but it's more expensive here, so we don't eat nearly as much of it as we used to. All right, let me make sure which symbol I'm working on here before I start laying them down in the wrong spot again. Okay, so I think that was everything for my regular life. If it wasn't, like I said, I'm sure I'll stick it in somewhere with my rambling. So let's jump into my diamond painting life. What's been going on in my diamond painting life? Not a huge amount of things going on in my diamond painting. If you follow the channel, you know that yesterday I released my second collection update of the year. Instead of calling it a stash, I'm calling it a collection because I think that sounds better. and I am down to 49 total. And that includes 5 whips, which is crazy for me. But I'm going to work on this one till I finish it, assuming that I figure out the drill issue because I'm short of colors already. I mean, I'll figure something out, but that sometimes takes me a little bit extra because I have to do some troubleshooting rather than just diamond painting. But I am working on this one. Like I said, I put the Aquarius teacup away for a little bit, and I have started working on Benedict Blue, which I have to tell you, I'm super enjoying. I love the colors. I'm really happy with the release papers that I made for it. I love them. And I've just been having a good time. They're nice drills, they fit together nicely. I did have a moment of panic starting it, going, gosh, please don't let this be like the teacup where I get going and then all of a sudden it was going well and now it isn't. But so far, so good. And it is a lot of confetti, just like this one, but it does have some places where I can multi-place, whereas this one is pretty much feels like everything is single placing because there's so much confetti, which is fine. That's one of the reasons I got these, was because I wanted to try my hand at doing these cross-stitch conversions that are supposed to have so much more detail in them than other kits do. But it does make for some slow diamond painting sessions. I did get some tutoring in this week. I was going to be gone Thursday and Friday, so Wednesday I told hubby I'm going to have to text her and tell her that I'm not going to be available if she's not available today, and she actually texted me, so I got that done before we left town, which was nice. Anyway, so I've been working on this one and Benedict Blue. I've got a couple sections done on Benedict Blue already, and I'm hoping once I get this one and Benedict Blue done, then I can go back maybe and start working on the teacup, figure out what's wrong with it, start working on it again. I'm just so surprised because I've never had any issues with any of the Bella Art squares that I've done before, which was why I was convinced it was something I had done. And then I had several people say, no, they've had the same issue, so maybe it wasn't just me. It's a rare instance of multi-placing there. 3 in a row. What? Wonder if this would be a good kit to use. I have the 2-placer that I never use because placing 2 at a time on most kits seems crazy when you can place so much more using a larger multi-placer. As I do my diamond painting sessions, I've also been trying to make sure that I am keeping my legs straight because I've been having a lot of trouble with my knees recently. I've also been spending more time playing games on my computer than I should have, so I found a cute series of hidden cats games, kind of like Where's Waldo, but with cats. And I've been playing those, and they're in all different cities. So you learn about some of the famous places in other cities or countries. I think they're cities mostly. Anyway, so yeah, not doing as much diamond painting as I should have been. So March's numbers for some things are going to be pretty bleak, but that's okay. I can try and make it up. I just need to stay focused. I just need to remember that I don't have to diamond paint all day, every day. I just need to get some good hours in. I think in the back of my brain, I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and do 6 to 8 hours at a time, and I don't need to do that much. Just doing less, but being consistent about it would be better instead of waiting till I feel like I have to do these marathon sessions to get caught up. But I think I was telling myself that same thing last year. So the book that my learner, my student picked out to read, the lady that I'm tutoring, is Atomic Habits. So I'm hoping maybe some of that will rub off and I'll learn how to make systems for myself to make things routine. I also would like to finish this one up because this one has most of my, well, not most, the one that has the most probably is my toy shop one that's kitted up, but this is probably second because I have basically this whole tray is nothing but the extra small Elizabeth Ward containers. So because they're all getting used in this one, I can't use them in anything else. So I want to get this one finished so I can kit it down so I can use these containers with other things. Because if I'd have had some small containers when I kitted up Benedict Blue, I wouldn't have had to use 2 trays. I could have gotten away with 1, but they're all being used with this one right now, so I do still need to go back and see. I've got the one color substitution that I picked that I'm going to try out first. But then I didn't realize I was going to run out of that other one already, so now I get to do it again. I'm hoping, because it's not like I kept the ones separated that I knew I didn't have any more of, and since that one wasn't in there, that should mean that I have more of that color in my spares. I just didn't measure it when I filled it, because I think it took me 2 or 3 sessions to get this thing up, and so maybe I just didn't pull all of them. I'm gonna hope that's what happened anyway. So hopefully I'll go up to look at my spare box of drills and find that DMC and be like, oh, there's plenty here. But honestly, I think this section that I'm working on and the next one in this row are really going to be the last ones that have a lot of these dark colors in it. Everything starts to kind of lighten up after that. And of course, after I do all of these, I'm like, oh, I've already had that color out. I missed a whole bunch of those. Par for the course when you're doing something with this much confetti. And I try to do the ones that I know I'm going to have the most of first. I used to do it the other way around and do all the ones that I knew were kind of going to be one-offs, but that's actually harder to do because then you can't see necessarily. Like if you get the ones that there's a lot of out of the way, then you can see kind of the holes of, oh, there's that symbol, there's that symbol. Whereas if you do it the other way around, it's not always that easy to tell. I think I got all of those. And then the question is, which one do I want to do next? Because that's the one I ran out of. So what I'm going to do is this one that I also ran out of, but now have to substitute. So, and again, there's so much confetti in some of these that as long as, you know, the sections where, like here, I have 5 of them together, as long as those 5 are all the same color, I don't think you're going to be able to tell that they don't match exactly ones that are 4 rows, 5 rows away. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. There are quite a few of these in this section. It's kind of funny having to substitute because when I was doing cross stitch, I spent quite a bit of time collecting all of the different colors so that I would have every single color no matter what. Of course, they do come out with new colors now and then, but I had like 4 boxes of the little cards full of embroidery floss that I hadn't touched in years. I think I sold those in the garage sale. Well, so far that looks like that's a pretty good match, so I'm happy with that. Some more up here in the corner. I swear some of these symbols though, when you shrink them down to the, you know, they're perfectly clear on stickers and stuff, but then when you shrink them down to the size of a canvas, it's like, what symbol is that? They all look the same because they're all so small. Another rare instance where I have enough of them in a section to actually do some multi-placing. Something that very rarely happens with this kit. It makes it feel like you're going super fast when you can though. Like, oh, I did all of those already since I didn't have to single place them. All right, let me make sure I've got all of those. I think I got all of them though. I'm gonna have to go back and see. I've got so many of these left though. Okay, but I think that substitute color worked pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, did anybody see the thing about the color changing mood drills from Diamond Art Club? I'm looking at that and thinking, how is that possible? That can't be. And then I realized what day it was, and I was like, oh. And then I thought, is this the same prank they pulled a few years ago? I feel like it is. My memory is not the greatest, so who knows? Maybe it's one somebody else did, and that's why I remember it. There's a lot of dark browns. This is the section, this one and the next one are the ones that are her shoulder. So there's a lot of dark colors because it's the shoulder sleeve of her dress. And my eyes can't decide if I'm setting too close or not close enough. Makes it a little difficult to see where I need to put things sometimes. I did have a magnifying light once upon a time, but I found that I didn't use it very often, so I didn't keep it. It's actually something I got rid of before we moved, but I've not been having nearly as much problems with my putty because I leave my pen out here on my diamond painting table, my adjustable table, which is in a colder room, so the putty stays colder, so I don't have as many issues with it. All right, for a minute there, I lost track of which one I'm doing. I was like, wait, where was I? I think I have two different colors in this one too, but I don't think you're going to be able to tell with most of these. I'm kind of anxious to see how this one is going to turn out. I know the drills are going to be gappier than I like because I'm using spares and they're not all the greatest, but so far I'm enjoying it better than my Pegasus and the Muses one, which that could be because it's smaller, but I just really struggled with the drills on that one. Was not happy with the way that one turned out. Somebody asked me if I had ever thrown away a diamond painting because they were really struggling with one and they were to the point they were about to throw it away. And I said, I absolutely have thrown one away because for the same reason, I just got to a point where I was struggling so much with it that I was like, I don't even like this kit enough to keep struggling, which probably sounds bad, but it was not a great kit. See, I've already forgotten what symbol I'm doing. This one. It was not a great kit, and I was like, you know what? Life is too short. I want to do diamond paintings that I enjoy. So, and that one, I could have passed it on to someone else, but I would have felt like I was inflicting it upon someone. So that one I just trashed. Some of these really dark colors can be hard to see, but sometimes you get to multi-place, which is nice. There's going to be 5 in a row here. I never get that many. And then usually once I get some big sections, I mean big sections is relative on a painting like this, but once I get like a section of, like I got all of those completed, then I'll start looking for, okay, what do I have holes for down here? And those are the colors I'll start pulling. And you know, when you're only using literally 2 or 3 drills of each color to fill in sections, I'm getting pretty close to the only color I have left being the one that I'm out of. So some of these, I've got a couple of candles here. I've got 3 candles. I've got that little down arrow. That's the only one. I've got 1 diamond, 1 spade, a couple of L's. This little tree bush symbol, whatever it is. I have worked on it long enough now, though, to know kind of where each symbol is in my tray. So I don't have to spend too much time hunting for them. Also, I don't think I realized how much I was avoiding diamond painting because of this kit and the Aquarius one, which is probably why I didn't get very much done in March, because this one is slow going just because it's very confetti heavy. And then I was having so many issues with the Bella Art one that it was making me crazy. And so I just was kind of like, anytime I sat down to diamond paint, I was like, ugh, I just don't want to deal with this. So I didn't. I just diamond painted other stuff, which is not what I should have been doing. Instead of sitting down to diamond paint, I would go play a computer game or something, which is a large part of the reason not a lot of stuff got done in March. But again, they're goals that I set for myself, so if I don't make it, it's not the end of the world. Okay, I think everything in this section now is the one that I'm out of. Oh no, there's still a diamond one here. Let me find. Okay, now it's all that one that I'm out of, possibly. So let me see over here. Am I going to need a lot of that color? Not a lot, but some, so definitely need to go find some. And then I've got the one I've got subbed in over here. So hopefully this little section over here is going to be the last of my kind of dark sections. And then it'll move into lighter stuff. Because then as I move up, I'll be moving into her face and the feathers and stuff on her hair. And even the background is lighter at the top. So, okay. But before I get started on that section, I do need to go find that color and see if I have any left. Also, my knee is starting to twinge a little bit, so it's time for me to get up and walk around before it starts hurting again because I've already taken my medicine for the day. So that's where I'm at. We do not have a diamond paint along in April, But if you guys are going to be working on something and you want to share, leave me a comment down below. Like I said, my plan for April is to work on this one, get it finished, and also work on Benedict Blue and get it finished. And then if I have time, I will start on the slow jazz because I figure the slow jazz one is going to go pretty quick. If I could get all three of those finished in April, I will be a very happy camper. And then that will catch me up too on some of my hours and things that I'm behind on at the moment, just because of the way that I count them. And somebody else suggested that I count them a bit differently, and I could change the way that I count them, but I think the way that I'm doing it per painting makes the most sense to me. And I think I would just confuse myself if I tried to be like, here's the number of hours because of the way my logbook is set up. Anyway, it just makes more sense to me to keep track of it by painting, so I'm going to continue to do that. Also, that's an interesting question. How many of you keep track of the number of hours that you paint? I know a lot of you do. I also know a lot of you maybe don't, especially people who don't set goals and things like me or are just doing this purely for your own enjoyment. I have a YouTube channel, so that makes my goals and things a little bit different than most people's, but I'm always curious to hear what you guys think. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.